Not every Taurus soul is the same. Under the sky of April and May, each Taurus is born with a rhythm that belongs only to them, the heartbeat of Mother Earth herself, slow, deep, and steady. Some are quiet like the soil after rain, shimmering softly without trying to be seen. Some are strong like the stone standing in the river's current, allowing the wind to pass, allowing time to carve its marks, yet never breaking, never fading. And then, there are those who carry within them a gentle light, the kind that makes you feel calm, safe, almost like coming home. Taurus is the symbol of stillness with strength inside it. They don't chase noisy heights. They build solid foundations for what they love. In their hands, fragile things are nurtured, tangled things find order, and distant dreams are drawn closer to reality. In every breath they take, there's the patience of the earth, the faith of spring, and the grounded strength of roots that reach deep into life itself. People often say Taurus moves slowly, but in truth, they move with the rhythm of the universe, slow enough to feel, to understand, and to create things that last. In a spinning world, Taurus is the keeper of rhythm, the guardian of balance between desire and peace. They remind us that true success isn't measured by speed, but by endurance, by depth, and by the quiet values built day after day. If you've ever met a true Taurus, you know their magic isn't in promises, it's in presence. They don't need to say they love you, they show it. They don't declare they're strong. They simply stand unshaken when storms come. And they don't seek approval, their souls already carry the blessing of heaven and earth. Within every Taurus lives a quiet resilience that time cannot erode. Even after loss, disappointment, or heartbreak, they still choose to love, to trust, to begin again. Deep down, they believe everything can heal if we're patient enough to wait for flowers to bloom after the winter. And when they rise after falling, they don't just save themselves, they become proof for others that the light never really leaves. For Taurus, silence is not escape. It's strength in its purest form. In a world of endless noise, they hear the voice of their own heart. In the rush of competition, they find their own path, the path that leads back to simplicity, to home, to love without reason. And in that stillness, God sees them, not in their grand victories, but in the quiet way they keep faith when nothing seems certain. Taurus is chosen not because they are perfect, but because they know how to turn challenge into foundation, pain into wisdom, and silence into the language of kindness. They are keepers of light, not the blinding kind, but the warm glow through a morning window that gently reminds us, the world is still good. If you are a Taurus, listen closely to your own heartbeat. It is the whisper of the earth within you, an invitation to go deeper, to live, to feel, and to finally become who you were always meant to be. And when that door quietly opens, you'll realize every Taurus is given a world of their own, a sacred place where Venus has planted seeds of love, harmony, and true value. That is where everything begins. A world where beauty isn't just what the eyes can see, but what the heart can feel. It lives in the gentleness of a small gesture, in the warmth of a morning cup of tea, in the quiet strength of a pair of hands caring for a simple dream. Venus is the planet of deep emotion, of art, of love, and of the truest values the human soul can reach for. Under her light, Taurus learns to love life in silence, through the smallest details, a sincere smile, a word spoken softly like a breeze, a bond built not by promises but by loyalty. In their world, love is not just a feeling, it's action, it's presence. It's the way they quietly make others feel safe without ever saying a word. The influence of Venus makes Taurus deeply sensitive to beauty, not the kind that shouts to be seen, but the kind that carries a soul, a tidy room, a garden in bloom, an old song echoing on a rainy night. Each of these touches the Taurus heart, like a gentle reminder that life itself is still sacred. With every step, they find meaning. With every moment, they plant a little more love back into the world. Some may think Taurus is too practical, too grounded, but beneath that calm exterior lies a dreamer's heart. They dream of a fairer world, of honest connections, of a home where words are few but peace is constant. And when they build something, a small shop, a garden, a project, a family, they don't just create matter, they breathe soul into it. Everything they touch bears the mark of care, of loyalty, of love that asks for nothing in return. Venus teaches Taurus that true value isn't in display, but in the peace we give to others. She teaches them to listen with the heart, to love through actions, to protect what's sacred with an unshakable devotion. While the world runs after glitter and noise, Taurus chooses the simple things: a warm meal, a knowing glance, an embrace that says, "You're exactly where you belong." Inside every Taurus lives an artist, even if they never paint or write a song. Their art is the art of endurance, the art of creating what lasts, of building relationships that stand the test of time, of shaping foundations so strong that others can rest upon them. They don't just love beauty, they live inside it. The beauty of loyalty, the beauty of respect, the beauty of keeping one's word and guarding the calm of their own soul. When Venus touches the consciousness of Taurus, she reminds them that love is not something to chase, but something to nurture. Everything that holds true worth demands time, patience, and trust, and so Taurus doesn't rush. They believe in the process. They move with the rhythm of life. They know every flower has its season, and they're willing to wait because they understand that what's born of love and patience will last forever. In a world spinning too fast, Taurus is the one who slows the rhythm down. They teach us that value isn't in grand gestures, but in the way we treat the smallest details of our days. When they build, they do it with their whole heart. When they love, they give their whole trust. When they fall silent, they are listening to the voice of the universe speaking softly through them. And if you listen closely enough, you'll hear it too. Beneath that quiet earth, Venus is still singing, whispering of gifts meant only for the heart strong enough to love, tender enough to understand, and brave enough to wait. In that sacred place, the Taurus soul begins its next journey, where earth is no longer just matter, but memory, faith, and the foundation of all that is yet to rise. The earth in the heart of Taurus is never silent. It breathes, it remembers, it listens to every step that walks upon it, to every drop of sweat that falls from the hands of those who plant, to every tear that sinks into the soil and becomes a seed of tomorrow. The earth is a witness, a patient mother, and a quiet teacher, the one who shows Taurus the true value of endurance. The element of earth within Taurus is the greatest power a human can touch, the strength of consistency, honesty, and stability so deep that even time must bow before it. While the world changes by the hour, Taurus keeps their rhythm slow and sure, still planting, still tending, still believing that one day the seeds they've sown will bloom into golden fields. When others are uncertain, Taurus acts. When others panic, Taurus stays calm. They understand that every storm will pass, but the ground that holds firm will remain. That is why they don't chase noise, don't seek to prove anything. They simply do quietly, steadily, like the heartbeat of the earth pulsing through the seasons. Every step Taurus takes is a prayer. They walk slowly, but they go far. They're never afraid to begin again, because they know how to rebuild from ashes. They don't look for what's easy, they look for what's true, for what can stand when everything else falls apart. That is what makes them different. Some live by urgency, but Taurus lives by trust in the process. They know that everything great begins with the smallest acts repeated every day: a perfectly brewed cup of tea, a quiet thank you, an honest day's work, a decision made without haste. Each of these is how Taurus tends to the garden of their life, without show, without noise, only steady steps, deep breaths, and an unshakable faith in the unseen. At work, they are the ones who keep the rhythm for everyone else. In love, they are the hands that hold you when you tremble, whispering that everything will be all right. In family, they are the pillar, the harbor, the calm that keeps every heart steady. They don't need many words. Their very presence softens the air, like wind settling over a meadow, like sunlight slipping gently through the window. Taurus doesn't work only for success. They work to build foundations for the future, for their children, for the people they love. The earth within them teaches them how to build, how to protect, how to turn the invisible into something that lasts. And because of that, their success is often lasting too, both in their finances and in their spirit. To Taurus, money is not just a tool. It's a reward for honest labor, proof of a life lived with integrity. They don't chase wealth to display it. They earn it to create safety, to protect, to make others feel secure beneath their care. Inside every Taurus lives a builder of the universe, someone who knows that the grandest structures are not the tallest towers or the finest cars, but a peaceful life built from small, honest acts each day. And when they look back, they'll see that they've created far more than what eyes can see, a small world where others feel loved, trusted, and safe. And then, when the sun sets over the fields Taurus has planted, you'll find them standing there, hands covered in soil, eyes glowing with quiet pride, because they know the harvest doesn't come only from the earth, but from the faith they've planted within it. And in that stillness, a small planet begins to turn again, where the light of Venus meets the warmth of Earth, opening a deeper realm within the soul of Taurus. There, a different current of energy begins to rise, a golden light of beginning, pure and strong, like the first sunrise after a long winter. It's a gift meant for those born between April 20th and April 25th, the Taurus souls who entered this world, with a mission to create, to lead, and to inspire through their calm and quiet strength. Within you lives a fusion of two worlds, the fiery spirit of Aries and the grounded presence of Taurus, two forces that seem to oppose each other. Yet in you, they meet in perfect harmony, the passion of fire and the endurance of the earth. That's why you move forward not in haste, but with a quiet certainty that every step you take holds meaning. Inside you lies a rare kind of strength, the power of someone who dares to begin without fear of challenge, who builds without needing to be seen. Everything you touch gains weight and soul, filled with the warmth of something truly alive. Whether you create art, run a business, or simply care for a home, what you build always endures. While others rush toward success, you plant trees slowly, intentionally. You understand that roots must run deep to hold the trunk, and the trunk must grow strong to carry the bloom. This wisdom makes you a natural builder, someone who can start again even after everything has fallen apart, someone who inspires simply by being. You don't need the stage to shine, because your light comes from within, a soft, golden glow, not blinding but steady enough to make those near you feel safe. You speak little, but every word you say lands like a stone on solid ground, real, grounded, unshakable. You act quietly, but each action builds something that lasts. The world may not see it right away, but time always recognizes the work of your hands. In your work, you lay the foundation. In your relationships, you hold the bond. You're not one to show emotion openly, but you watch, you care, you protect the people and things you love. Some might mistake your calm for coldness, but the truth is you just want to make sure that everything you give is real, steady, and meant to last. There's a wisdom in you that arrived early, a gift for seeing the essence of things without words. That's why people come to you, for guidance, for grounding, or simply to sit in your quiet presence and feel safe again. You are the one who stays still when the world spins too fast, the one who keeps the rhythm steady when everyone else has lost their breath. The world needs you, Taurus of the early season, because when you arrive, the air clears. Things make sense again. You don't just build for yourself. You teach without knowing it, how to live slower, how to live true, how to trust the natural timing of life. Your mission is to shape not only matter, but energy, emotion, and belief. You are the first to walk through the gates of Taurus season, carrying the torch of steadiness, lighting the path for those who will follow. And remember, the light you carry doesn't need recognition. It only needs to keep shining from your heart, for it will always find the souls meant to be warmed by it. And when the first rays of spring sunlight fall quietly across your shoulders, remember, you are the beginning of stability, the heartbeat of the earth, the first breath of the green season. From here, the story of Taurus continues to bloom, where the souls born after you bring a new shade of the same truth, deeper, gentler, but still rooted in that eternal faith in the endurance of life. When the sun settles fully into Taurus, the light of Venus softens, filtered gently through the leaves, touching the ground with tenderness and quiet love. During this time, those born under Taurus do not come to lead, but to preserve, not to call for change, but to nurture it. They are the builders and the healers, working through their hands, their hearts, and the quiet presence of their spirit. If early season Taurus carries the fire of beginnings, then you born between April 26th and April 30th carry the warmth of home. Within you burns the energy of the one who tends the flame, the guardian who makes sure it keeps burning, even when the storm rages outside. You are the anchor, the stillness, the place people return to when they need peace. Inside you lives an instinct to serve and care, not out of weakness, but from the deep understanding that caring is one of the purest forms of strength. You don't chase the spotlight, you seek meaning. You don't rush toward results, you focus on the process. Everything you do carries responsibility, devotion, and a quiet sense of purpose. You look at life through the eyes of a gardener, patient, precise, knowing that everything needs time to grow. And when you nurture something, a project, a relationship, a dream, it blooms because your energy is the energy of wholeness. Deep down, you live by high standards, not because you need control, but because you long for peace. You can't stand half-heartedness because you know that anything done without sincerity will eventually fall apart. So you perfect things, not for praise or wealth, but because you want the world around you to feel safe, to make sense, to be right. You are the pillar soul in every space you enter. When others lose direction, you steady the ground. When others lose hope, you remind them that faith still matters. The world may not always call your name, but it leans on you more than you realize. In your quiet ways, you keep whole systems running, families, workplaces, communities, moving smoothly, with rhythm, with breath. You are the one who makes life easier for everyone around you. If someone asked what your most beautiful quality is, the answer would be in the way you love. You love through action, by waking early to make breakfast, by fixing small mistakes no one notices, by truly listening when others speak. You love without noise. You protect with gentleness. You heal with patience. You are living proof that love doesn't need grand gestures, only steady presence. Even when you feel unseen, remember this. The world stands because of people like you, the quiet ones who hold it together. Those who work behind the scenes, who persist, who refuse to let things fall apart. In a chaotic world, you are the constant pattern running through the storm, giving everything form, meaning, and order. People often celebrate those who change the world, but few realize that the world can only stand because of those who hold it steady, souls like you, born in the last days of April. Those who choose to protect instead of destroy, to mend instead of resent, to stay when others walk away. You are the embodiment of enduring love, a love that doesn't promise, doesn't shout, but never fades. Be proud of your quiet strength. Inside that silence lies the power. This world desperately needs the power to give, to guard, to remain standing when everything else trembles. Every time you help someone smile, every time you choose forgiveness, every time you do the right thing without a word, the world grows a little brighter because of you. And when evening light falls upon the hands that have worked all day, you'll realize that happiness isn't found in applause or titles, but in the peaceful knowing that you've kept one corner of this world safe. In that quiet moment, the Taurus soul smiles, and a soft wind opens a new door to the next layer of the story, deeper, warmer, and brighter than ever before. In this realm, the energy of Earth still lingers, but now it's blended with reason, strategy, and a kind of intelligence that sees farther than most eyes can reach. This is the domain of those born between May 1st and May 6th, the architects of perfection, souls who don't just preserve order, but rebuild the world with their vision and precision. You carry a rare energy, both grounded and insightful. Where others see chaos, you see structure. Where others fear uncertainty, you see opportunity. Within you lies the perfect balance between the intellect of Venus and the instinct of Earth. It gives you a mind that is both artistic and strategic. You don't just know how to work, you understand how things work. And that's why people come to you, for direction, for clarity, for that steady logic that only you seem to possess. If the Taurus group before you are the healers, then you are the designers of the new world. You were born to build systems, to create foundations, to turn disorder into structure, and structure into sustainable flow. Whatever you do, business, art, education, leadership, you have a natural instinct to organize, refine, and optimize, to make things run smoothly without losing their soul. There is something very rare within you, wisdom paired with discipline. You don't just dream, you plan. You don't just speak, you act. Every plan in your mind has a direction. Every action you take has intention. Every step you walk has purpose. You don't rush because you know that time is not your enemy, it's your ally. Everything great requires patience, and you have enough of it to wait for what's truly worth having, not through luck but through preparation. You're the one people lean on because you always seem to know what to do. Even in crisis, your calm is astonishing. While others panic, you take a step back, observe, analyze, and find a new way forward. You're not driven by emotion, you steer yourself with vision. And that's what makes you a natural leader, even when you never ask for the title. In your world, order itself is an act of love. When things are in their rightful place, you believe energy can flow freely, work becomes lighter, and life becomes harmonious again. You organize not to control, but to protect peace, for yourself and for those you love. That's a subtle, profound kind of compassion only a true Taurus understands. Many born under this part of Taurus build empires, lead companies, or become mentors, teachers, and guides. But what truly defines you isn't ambition, it's responsibility. When you take on a task, you give it everything. When you promise, you follow through. When you start something, you finish it. And through that journey, you don't just build success, you build trust. In the eyes of others, you are reliability itself. In the eyes of the universe, you are the executor of Earth's and Venus's will, turning ideas into form, dreams into foundations. With your steady hands and sharp mind, you make this world more logical, more balanced, and more beautiful. At times, you may feel burdened, like you see too much, know too much, carry too much responsibility. But remember, Taurus, this isn't a punishment. It's a sign of a mature soul. You've been entrusted with this weight because the universe knows you can hold it. You've been placed in this role because you understand how to turn energy into action and vision into reality. So trust your own pace. You don't need to chase anyone. You don't need to compare. Every step you take carries the mark of certainty. When others draw, you build. When others speak, you act. And when you fall silent, the world around you grows still, listening quietly as you lay another stone in something lasting and good. And then when night finally falls, you sit among the work of your hands. Moonlight glints off your dust-covered palms, and you realize the structure you've built isn't just material, it's a spiritual legacy, a foundation strong enough for generations to stand upon. In that moment, a new rhythm begins to rise, slower, deeper, more compassionate. A new layer of Taurus energy is waiting ahead, where beauty is no longer built by the hands alone, but balanced by the heart. Those born between May 7th and May 12th carry the energy of completion, where wisdom meets beauty, where practicality merges with grace. You are the rare meeting point between logic and aesthetics, between solid structure and tender emotion. Venus, your ruling planet, doesn't just bless you. With the energy of matter and value, it whispers into your heart the art of balance. You understand deeply that nothing is truly beautiful if it lacks fairness, and nothing is truly lasting if it isn't born from genuine feeling. That's why everything you create, a project, a room you arrange, a message you share, carries both purpose and soul. Your work breathes with intention, with beauty, and with quiet kindness. Inside you lives the spirit of a craftsman, never loud, never seeking attention, just patiently shaping harmony from the simplest pieces of life. You know how to turn a cold space into comfort, how to bring order and empathy to chaos. At home or at work, you make the air feel lighter, the energy calmer, as if everything finally found its rightful rhythm. Venus shines through you in a gentle way, not with the blinding light of fame, but with the soft glow of kindness. You think with reason, but you decide with your heart. You dislike rigid plans because you understand life isn't an equation. To you, every journey needs space for emotion, compassion, and joy. And that's what makes you a peacemaker through stability and beauty. The world seems to slow down when you're around, not because you demand it, but because people instinctively align with your rhythm. In your presence, they feel respected, understood, and safe enough to breathe again. You never push people to change, yet your quiet example makes them want to be better, kinder, more whole. In your work, you are the one who brings scattered pieces together. You see the value in every detail, yet you also know when to pause, when to give space for silence, for balance, for breath. That awareness of when to build, when to hold, and when to release is what makes you someone everyone trusts to work with. To you, beauty isn't just something to admire, it's a language of respect. A tidy room is how you honor yourself. A gentle word is how you honor others. A peaceful relationship is how you honor life itself. And because of that, you become someone who softens the world not through force, but through empathy. You live by a quiet principle. Everything can be made better, but only when it's done with love. And your love isn't impulsive. It's slow, steady, refined through time, rooted in honesty, self-respect, and the desire to create something real. While others rush for results, you pause to listen to the heartbeat of life itself. When the world falls out of balance, you step in as the one who steadies the scales, not to control, but to let both sides coexist in harmony. Know this: your mission isn't to change the world. It's to keep it beautiful, to remind people to believe, to love, to sit down and smile at something simple again. Each time you fix something small, each time you speak a kind word, you restore the order of beauty, the very order the universe is always reaching for. And when the last light of day touches your face, the world falls quiet. All the noise, the conflict, the rush, they fade, leaving only the harmony that radiates from your presence. And from that stillness, a new chapter of Taurus begins to unfold, where beauty is no longer just to be seen, but becomes a silent prayer of a soul learning to love, to forgive, and to turn everything around it into something good again. As you step deeper into this layer of energy, Taurus, you begin to realize a gentle yet powerful truth. You were never walking alone. No matter the day you were born, no matter how many storms life has carried you through, there has always been an unseen hand watching over you, guiding you, holding you, protecting you. Every meeting, every opportunity, every message that comes to you at the right moment, they are not coincidences. They are the language of the universe, the way heaven and earth remind you that you are exactly where you are meant to be, at the precise time you were meant to arrive. Sometimes that protection doesn't come in the form you expect. It can be a closed door, a person walking away, a plan falling apart. Things that feel like loss but are in truth redirections, turns in the road that lead you toward the light. The universe never takes something away without offering something better in return. It's just that humans often don't stay calm long enough to see it. And you, Taurus, with your steady heart and clear eyes, were chosen to learn this sacred lesson, the lesson of trust. Your intuition is unlike anyone else's. It doesn't shout, it doesn't rush, it whispers. And when you listen, everything becomes clear. You know when to pause, when to move, when to stay silent, and when to speak. That inner voice is the compass, the universe placed within your soul. It never lies, you just sometimes move too fast to hear it. But every time you follow it, you feel how life begins to flow again, as if the doors had been waiting for your arrival all along. Remember, Taurus, everything that happens carries meaning. No delay is wasted. No challenge is useless. Every experience is designed to make you stronger, gentler, wiser. When you learn to see with the eyes of your soul, you begin to understand that everything is a blessing. Some blessings just wear the disguise of difficulty. On long nights when you feel tired, remember you are being seen. When you pray in silence, believe the universe is listening. When you choose what's right, even when no one is watching, trust that your light is being multiplied. In higher realms, nothing born from love is ever forgotten. Every kind act you give becomes a spark that brightens the world. The universe protects you in subtle ways, through the stranger you meet by chance, through a sentence you overhear in the crowd, through a dream that reminds you of something important, through that sudden warmth in your chest when you were about to give up, but noticed a tiny sign that made you smile. That is God. That is the higher energy whispering, "You are not alone." Your mission, Taurus, is not only to build and preserve, but to trust the greater order beyond your control. When you stop forcing, when you allow the current to guide you, you'll begin to witness miracles unfold, not because of magic, but because you've aligned yourself with the rhythm of the universe. The world today teaches people that they must fight, strive, and conquer. But you were chosen to teach a different truth. That peace is also a form of strength. When you trust, you no longer need to force. When you release control, you allow what's right to find its way to you. And when you are grateful, you open the door to wonder. Believe that every good thing you've ever given is already finding its way back, sometimes as a smile from a stranger, sometimes as a quiet afternoon after the storm. The universe is always fair, and honest souls like yours will never be forgotten. And when you lift your gaze to the night sky, where the stars shimmer like the gentle eyes of the universe, smile softly, because in that very moment you are loved, you are held, you are guided, and in that sacred stillness, the story of Taurus changes hue, deeper, quieter, where the soul learns not only to be protected, but to protect others. With the light it carries within,